All right, mate. How you doing?
Are you sure? I mean, it's all a bit...
What, sick?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, mate. You know, it's all about how mankind deals with tragedy. You know, it's all about laughter being an involuntary response. It's about laughing when you don't know what else to do, you know?
What do you mean?
It's like, you know, how I cured my grandma of hypochondria.
Oh, yeah. How do you do that?
I signed up with Dr. Shipman.
And you can't do this one. This one. How do you spot a paedophile?
What, the guy with no pubic hair between his teeth? No, I'm not doing that one either.
Too sick.
No, it's just not funny enough. This is about, you know, sick humour being a way of getting revenge, getting your own back on the people who heap shite upon you, you know what I mean?
But you can't do this Concord stuff.
No, that's tragic. That's tragic. I mean, a plane up at the French and English goes down full of Germans. Isn't it time to forgot the war, like?
Exactly. I'm going to have to go and have a look at this now.
Those Germans, you know, those Germans, they thought they were on a cruise, not a cruise missile. You see, sick jokes as old as history itself. I mean, the first sick joke was written on a cave wall by a caveman. It said, how would you circumcise a bloke from the next village? Kick his sister in the jaw. And it's been downhill ever since. I mean, 3,000 years ago, when Tutankhamun was being bandaged up, I'm sure he was going, calm down, it's only a fucking sprained ankle. 1,000 years later, Jesus on the cross, I bet he's up there and he's going like, oi, Longinus, got any good jokes? And the Roman guy turns, sticks a spear in his ribs, and he goes, ah, thanks, that was a real side splitter. I'd clap, but, well, you know. And then there's Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen. I'm not surprised. What an ugly old white-faced moose she was. Here's a Tudor joke for you. What comes back from holiday and gives you cancer and a potato? Sir Walter Raleigh. Poor old Sir Walter Raleigh. He puts himself out trying to introduce tobacco and potatoes into this country. The staples of our diet, the foundation of our very empire to this very day. And what does he get for his trouble? He gets his head cut off. Just because he wouldn't shag that old bucket of a queen. Actually, I think he got off quite lightly there. Victorian values, that's what we need. The good old Victorian era. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I send my son up chimneys. The good old Victorian era. I mean, the upper classes might have put curtains over their piano legs to protect the innocent, but they knew how to butcher a good prostitute. The Vietnam War. Now that threw up one of the greatest sick jokes of all time. A guy crawls back to his trench after a firefight and says to his mate, I found this beautiful Vietnamese girl in a bomb crater over there, and she was the best shag I ever had. And his mate said, did you get a blowjob as well? He goes, no, I couldn't find the head. And so the human race stumbles on, and we do what we've always done. We take the piss and we laugh at the whole absurdity of it all. I mean, you know when you're a celebrity, when you die, and the jokes are on the internet before the morning papers. And tonight, we pay homage.
Ladies and gentlemen, if there is anyone present who is likely to be offended by extremely sick humour, whoa, are you in the wrong fucking room? Clap your hands, stamp your feet, and put your hands together for the amazing Mr. Craig Charles and his Sickbag!
gene pool. Did your mum and dad ever look at you go, 10 million sperm, and he had to be the fastest fucking swimmer? You're in the wrong room, mate. The cunts convention's next door. Fucking hell. They gave me shandy backstage to try and sober me up. Shandy. The Kurt Cobain beer. Well, it's extremely bitter and it's got no head. Fuck me! I love sick jokes, you know. I fucking love sick jokes. See the news tonight. Apparently Gary Glitter hasn't gone on the run at all to Cuba. He's gone to Florida. I think that's what they meant. He said he's gone to Tampa with the kids. I love you, love. You're only two, love. I'm the Peter, I'm the Peter, I'm the Peter of the gang, I am. What's 4 foot tall and stands at the bottom of a little girl's bed? Gary Glitter's boots. That's the way it is. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. I'm a family man, you know what I mean? You know, today, I mean, my son's school broke up, so, because I went to pick him up, and, like, you know, it was nice to see all the kids running around, jumping up and down the playground, screaming and yelling. They didn't know I was only firing blanks, you see, so... all right, it's all right. This is my favourite gun, this is my favourite one. I got this one in jail. Don't believe all you read in the press about it being easy to smuggle firearms into prisons, because it's not. This one cost me 60 fucking fags, you know? It's only a toy one, don't worry. This is the real one. You might be a heckler. This is a heckler and cock. Oh, it went off in my hand. That's what I told her last night. It's all right, I'm only firing blanks. I told her that too. Okay. What do vegetarian maggots eat? Linda McCartney. Oh. Oh. Paul said to the kids, I've got good news, I've got bad news. What's the bad news? Your mum's dead. What's the good news? Steak for dinner. You're sicker than me, you bastards! Apparently she wasn't buried or cremated. She was just popped in the microwave for 15 minutes. But that's... Oh. Hey, do you like the coat, though? Think? Oh, come on. Catalogue stuff, this, you know. Never looks the same when you get it home, does it? This is a goblin tea's made. I don't know what the fuck. A woman came up to me the other day and said, do you know a cow was murdered for that coat? And I said, any fucking witnesses? Now I'm going to have to kill you too. Off goes the coat. Thanks very much. I'm actually wearing stockings and suspenders underneath this as well. I am. I've been wearing them for the last 9 months, ever since my wife found them in the car. You don't fucking believe me, do you? Yes! Come on! Wiggly, 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 wiggly. Wiggly, wiggly, wiggly. Calvin Klein. When the gusset goes, it just says cack. His name's Mr. Wiggly. Yeah, I give him a name because I don't want a stranger making all my decisions for me. How you feeling, Mr. Wiggly?
I hate being stuck in here with this arsehole.
How you feeling?
A bit claustrophobic in here with this rolled up sock.
Tell us a joke.
What's the difference between pink and purple?
I don't know.
The grip.
Will you look at me in the eye? Not that eye. I can't feel that feeling anymore. The tingle doesn't tingle underneath my overalls. Embarrassment and panic, shame when you think it's getting hard again. It doesn't, it just limps a bit and falls. And you just have another place to look when you find that you can't get it up, and the fingers just don't feel the same, and the fingers stroke again, and I can't make my burner flame from tip to top to core. The tension tends to aggravate when you find that you can't copulate and your tingle cannot mingle anymore. And your ego can't kickstart and go if you can't make those juices flow. And you know, I know, we all know a man is not a man without a spanner in his hand. And it's easy for you to say that where there's a willy, then there's usually a way. That statement is easily said when the thing's all wrinkly and dead. And it's not that firm upright and bold, and me balls are crinkly and cold. Been there, have you? But I suppose it's pretty funny that in this land of milk and money, 'tis too much to touch the burning crutch of your true intent, a honey bunch, and she says she loves me. She knows I'm competent. Love is a many splendid thing. It sometimes makes you impotent, and she holds me close and bathes my wounds and kisses me, and then the lantern lights up her eyes, and I'm sure it's getting hard again. Thank you.
This sex and relationship stuff's a bit near the knuckle. What do you think of the wife and kidneys, mate?
Yeah, no, you got a point, fair enough. Oh, God, I got married recently. I got married. Thank you very much. I don't know why I got married, though. You know, I'm 35. I'm in show business. If all goes well, my wife's not been born yet. Turning into Gary Glitter right before your very eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Got a great sense of humour. She's from Galway, my wife. Great sense of humour. Yeah, Irish bird. Yeah. She told me last night she thought men were like nappies and should be changed just as often for exactly the same reasons. There's always a lesbian in, isn't there? She told me that men were like parking spaces. The best ones were taken and the rest of them were handicapped. Don't clap on your own, someone will throw you a fish. She looks a bit like a seal. It was only a joke. You're a bit of a babe. Have you seen that movie? So... What? What? Yeah, to get my own back, I told my wife that she was like a condom, because she spends more time in my wallet than she does on my dick. Didn't go down well. Now, I married Miss Right. I didn't realise her first name was always fucking. Always fucking right shit. We had a double wedding. Me and my mate Simon married sisters. I married Jackie and Simon married Sheila. And the day after the wedding, he said, I bet I can make love to my wife more times than you can make love to your wife tonight. I went, bollocks. So we had a bet. Very mature. Gets into the room that night, in honeymoon spinning, and I mean... Could have been a bit shorter. Put a little chalk mark above the bed. And I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning feeling fairly frisky, thought in for a penny, in for a pound. I didn't wake her up this time, anything like that. Put a little chalk mark above the bed. And I woke up in the morning with the morning horn and thought, here we go, lad. I always go a bit longer in the mornings. With a little chalk mark above the bed. That's 3 chalk marks. And my mate Simon came in on his hands and knees and went, you bastard, 111, you beat me by 1. Didn't have the heart to tell him. Oh, fucking hell. Mate of mine lives just over the road. You know, if you go out the theatre, there's like that council block outside. I mean, fucking hell, imagine getting a council house around here. It's really quite fucking cool, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I went and knocked on his door, because we were going for a few drinks. Thought I'd take him out for a couple of pints, like, you know. Knocks on his door, and his 8-year-old son answered the door with a cigarette in one hand, a glass of whiskey in the other, and a hardcore porn mag tucked under his arm. I said, is your dad in? He said, what the fuck do you think? All right, lad, all right, lad. She's got me on Viagra now, my wife, because I'm 35, and we've got one little daughter, Anna Jo. She's 2, but Jackie, she wants more. She's got me on Viagra now so we can keep her up, you know what I mean? Trouble is, I've been taking Viagra and iron supplements, and I keep spinning round and pointing north. I don't actually take Viagra, I take Liagra. It makes it impossible for me to tell a woman my real name after sex. Hi, I'm Gary Wilmot. My wife got me a sweater for Christmas. I would have preferred a moaner or a screamer, but... sweater was all right, like. When we got married, she said to me, will you still love me when I'm grey, fat and wrinkled? I said, I don't know. Will you still love me when I'm banging some 18-year-old with big tits? It didn't go down well. Before I was married, I used to fuck around. I'd feel terrible about myself in the morning, so now I sleep till noon. And just... I took my wife up the bum last night. I know, it's a terrible name for a pub. I was in bed with you the other night. I said, I've got a present for you. She said, oh, great, what is it? I said, it's a pearl necklace. But it went over her head. I suppose I've got to do a sex and relationships routine because the stand-up union have made it compulsory. And I wouldn't want to piss them off, you know? I don't mind because I love knob gags. It's that my wife refuses to wear them, you know? Oh, for the lost innocence of youth. I remember my first hard-on. I passed out. No, not because it was so big. It was that Lucy Baines hit me on the head with a brick for chasing her with it. In the end, you learn to be a bit more subtle in your attempts to attract the girlfriend, don't you? Dancing. There's a fucking concept. I mean, why do we do it? I'm sure we could impress any woman with our wit and erudition, but what do? We go and dance at them. You're trying to impress a total stranger by waving your arms around and grinning like a moron. Might as well go and show her the boil on your arse. She's not going to be impressed with that either. Why is she going to be impressed with crappy fucking dancing? But the youth today, and an awful lot of you people, have found a solution, haven't you? Ecstasy. I mean, E is a dance drug, isn't it? 1 minute you're dancing with a vision of loveliness. And the next minute it's dawn. And she's the fat bird from the chippy. Still, I will do anything for the free cotton chips. We never used to have drugs to dance with when I was growing up. That's something to do with, do you fancy a drink, love? Do you fancy a drink? That's when you hear of an exotic drink that consists of champagne, cognac, lumps of gold encrusted in diamonds. Costs about 480 quid, and it's called a Maybe I'll Suck Your Cocktail. I bought loads of them. You never know. I remember once, I was at this school disco, and I walked up to this girl and said, do you fancy a dance? And she said, I wouldn't dance with you if you were the last boy on earth. I said, no, I think you misheard me. What I said was, I think that dress makes you look really fat. I actually didn't say that. I just thought of it on the bus on the way home. Oh, for the lost innocence of youth. You know, from whispered conversations in the playground and the writing on toilet walls, I thought my first ejaculation was going to be like a French riot cop's water cannon. It was supposed to be like Vesuvius erupting. Mine was like a baby belching. You know you do. Oh, for the lost innocence of youth. I hate it. The way she looks under the bed and finds all those things I had there just in case she was into that sort of stuff. Like stirrup pumps, ropes, pulleys, the front end of a pantomime horse. I'm a kinky bastard. They say the difference between kinky and perverted is kinky's where you use a feather and perverted where you use the whole fucking chicken. I can see the lust in your eyes. Because women don't need men anymore, do they? They don't, do they? Women are forceful, dynamic, determined, successful, intelligent, they've got their own careers. Don't need no big, fat, sweaty, airy-ass man fucking up their life. No offence, mate. And women are so much more environmentally conscious than men. So listen, lads, I've worked it out. If you want to pull a modern woman, you've got to use environmentally friendly chat-up lines. Like, excuse me, I'd like to take you home tonight and rub your body all over in baby oil that hasn't been tested on animals. How can you deny a child life by not sleeping with me? Fucking works, that one. But if you're going to use environmentally friendly chat-up lines, then you have to have green sex. And as with all things, rules will have to be obeyed. Don't make the earth move. Disastrous knock-on effect in northwest Turkey. And don't flush your condoms down the toilet, because they get washed out to sea and strangle herrings. And we've all got to be the friend of a herring. I've devised something which is pretty spectacularly successful, and you might like to follow suit. What I do is I wind my balls up to a dynamo and I power the washing machine for free. My trouble is, I keep going into my rinse cycle before I've actually washed. All the girls laugh and the guys go, what's all that about? I bet when you go shopping for frozen food and you look at the box, you don't know if you've got a preheated oven or not. Well, go on then, what have you? My wife said to me the other night, I was in bed with her, she said, Craig? I said, yes, my petal. Well, what was I supposed to say? What fuck, bitch? I said, yes, my petal. She said, there's 4 types of orgasm. I went, oh, aye, oh, aye. She went, yeah, there's the positive, the negative, the religious and the fake. And the positive is, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. And the negative is, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. And the religious is, oh, God, oh, Jesus Christ, God. And the fake is, Craig. It's not fucking funny. I was out with Kate Moss the other night, you know. Nothing happened. I mean, she's so thin. I mean, you'd be frightened to shag in case you snapped her, wouldn't you? I mean, so I just got a taxi home. I think she went by fax. My stag night was amazing. My stag night was amazing. We went to Amsterdam. Has anyone been to Amsterdam? It's fucking rocking, isn't it? Me and my mates took me to Amsterdam. My mates tried to kill me with drugs and alcohol. Why do guys do that? You know, the night before the most important day of their lives, get rat-ass pissed and up walking down the aisle looking like John Hurt after that thing's come out of him in Alien, you know. Went to this bar in Amsterdam called Starkers Express. Now, it's a bit like Starlight Express, only they're all naked and on rollerblades. And these girls are kind of nakedly rollerblading around. And we're all pissed and sat at the front. And they asked for a volunteer. So my mates volunteer me. They get me up on stage, strip me off, bollock naked, handcuff me, put me in rollerblades, and push me to the top of this ramp. Now all these naked girls bend over in front of me. I haven't had so much choice since the last time I tried to park on my bike. I'm in an obvious state of arousal, and they push me down, and I'm rollerblading towards these naked girls, and just before I get there, they move aside, whip back a curtain, and I rollerblade stark naked down a sunlit street in Amsterdam. The locals gave me a round of applause my career could have done without. I didn't stop till I reached the canal. And you can't swim in rollerblades. I got fished out by the Dutch police in the end. I've got nothing against the police. They do a difficult job. They so do bank robbers. No one gives them any fucking medals, you know? I got into a high-speed car chase with the police the other day. 121 miles an hour down the M6. In the end, I caught the bastards. Yeah. They don't make it easy to report a burglary now, do they? Don't you hate the way the police are always going on about how they haven't got as many weapons as the Americans? The only reason they want side handles on their trunks is because they lose so many of prisoners' arses. The only reason they want tear gas so they can fake sympathy at the scene of a crime. Oh, sorry, your cat's been stolen. I know what it's like in London. It's very much like Liverpool in many ways, because the police stations in Liverpool have got this weird kind of gravity. The kind of gravity that makes you fall downstairs and walk into doors over and over and over again. I'll tell you a true story once. I was making love to my girlfriend, she was at the time, in a park car down this Lover's Lane, little brown bum going up and down in the air. Go on, imagine it. And this policeman starts flashing his torch through the window. I think, oh, fucking hell. He goes, get out here, you dirty bastard. Get out here. So gets dressed, gets out, and he goes, oh, it's you? And I go, yeah. He goes, look, I know you had a bit of a nightmare back there. He says, I know you went through a bit of a hard time. I said, look, I'm not going to report you. I'm not going to report you. I'm not going to report you. As long as I can go next. I nearly fainted. Well, I've never fucked a policeman before, you know. I just... I like cats, mate. They taste like chicken. I call my cat Fred West because he keeps leaving partially dismembered birds twitching on the kitchen floor. The CID are interviewing Fred West. They say, Fred, how many bodies are there in the basement? And he goes, oh, about 9. About 9, says Fred. And after searching, the police come back and go, you lying bastard! There's 17 bodies in the house. And he goes, well, I'm a builder. It was only an estimate. A doctor friend of mine was struck off recently, you know, for having sex with one of his patients, which was a real shame, because he was a fucking fantastic vet. Three tampons walking down the road. Which one says hello? None, they're all stuck-up cunts.
We're going to have to lose all this stuff about the Americans. They've got fucking lawyers, mate. I mean, they're in trouble.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thanks.
I just come back from America. Jesus Christ. Well, that's true, because, see, Americans think everything's bigger and better in America, don't they? Which is obviously bollocks, you know what I mean? I mean, take insults, for instance, they use 1 finger, we use 2. Is it bigger and fucking better? We've got history, they've got last week. They've got 1 London Bridge, we've got fucking loads of them, now off with ya! They've got an American president who'll knob the odd secretary. We've got Fergie, she'll fuck anyone. Bill Clinton, oh, what a fella. Hey. Smokes drugs, doesn't inhale, shags women, doesn't impale. He's asked the difference between Hillary and Monica. He said Hillary's close, but no cigar. He said Monica's got the whitest teeth I've ever come across. Monica Lewinsky withholding evidence. I really love you. I don't know why she grassed them up. Most girls like it when you splash out in a new dress, but, you know. She took the dress to the cleaner, said, can you clean the dress? Cleaner said, come again. She said, no, coffee this time. Bill Clinton said to Monica Lewinsky, said, come in the Oval Office, I want to show you my clock. And she went, your clock? He went, yeah. So she went in, and he dropped his pants. And he said, that's not a clock. And he goes, it is if you put 2 hands and a face on it. Fucking Americans. I just come back from Seattle. I was in Seattle, because Bill Gates, the richest man in the world, is a Red Dwarf fan. The richest man in the world. Didn't lend me a fiver, tight bastard. But he gave me a guided tour of Microsoft. I thought, thanks, Bill. Just what I fucking need. I don't even understand the internet, me, you know? I mean, I left school the year our school got its first computer, so I'm computer illiterate, me, you know? But if someone had told me, say, 10 years ago, that would be looking at a phone call that you've got to type as a major innovation, I'd have had them fucking certified. And I said, oh, come on, Craig, you can send pictures as well. Because it takes about an hour to download a picture, and even then the tits are out of focus and everything. Oh. That's a guy thing, that, you know. Someone invents something, and a guy will invent a way to get sex involved. But the first camera ever invented, the first film ever developed, included at least 2 photographs of the inventor's girlfriend's tits. Just a guy. Oh, I haven't got a wide-angle lens. Just a guy thing. And what did we think when they invented Polaroids? You don't have to go the chemist. You can be as naughty as you want. Was that just me? But he took me all round Microsoft, took me to all these rooms. Took me to this research and development room and showed me some of the stuff they've got in development. Showed me this thing called dildonics. Well, this is true. This is the equipment that they've got in development which allows you to have sex with your computer. They ain't going to screw my computers by plugging it in the wrong fucking way, you know. But it involves a little machine that you put your tackle in. Big machine that you put your tackle in, which is wired up to this computer. Now, what if this is a systems crash or a power surge? You can rip your dick off and fax it to Canada before you know it's... Fucking Americans, man. Met that Stephen Hawking recently. What a twat he was. No, it's not what he said, it's the way he said it. Well, they say that's why the Germans invented the swastika, so they could crucify the handicapped. But you worked that one out yourselves. How many times does 59 go into 21? I don't know, ask Woody Allen. What? What? You're going posh on me or something?
And you won't do any of these jokes about famous people dying, will you? I mean, Sonny Bono smashing his face into a tree. It's not funny.
No, fair enough, fair enough.
Cheers.
What have Rod Hull and Emu got in common? Neither could fucking fly. What shampoo do they use? Ariel and Bounce. What's got 4 legs and goes shh? Rod Hood's telly. I went to the funeral, it was okay, but the reception was terrible. Why does an emu need Viagra? Because Rod is permanently stiff. I think drinking and driving's a really good idea, mate, because I only drive when I'm too pissed to walk, you know what I mean? I mean, you don't want to run over a kid when you're sober. Too much fucking trauma. I tell you what, I came out the casino one night, pissed out my head, gets in the car, and someone had trashed my car. So I get on the mobile to the police and say, someone's trashed my car. And they go, what have they taken? I went, the radio, the dashboard, the steering wheel, all the little pedals. Oh, hang on a minute, I'm in the back. We hired this car in Mexico, wanted to see the sights, like, and I'm driving around. This guy comes on the radio, says there's a madman driving the wrong way down the freeway. And I went, fuck off, there's hundreds of them. I want to die peacefully in my sleep, like my granddad, not screaming and yelling like his passengers. I woke up the other day and I looked at the clock and I suddenly realised I was doing 75 miles an hour down the M6. Then I suddenly realised, fuck, I haven't got a car. Don't panic. Oh, I'm on the bus. We've got this tour bus now. It's fucking brilliant. It's got low-profile tyres. I didn't notice them at first. When we played Liverpool, these tyres turned into 4 piles of bricks. I didn't know that fucking happened. I went to see the mechanic. He suggested locking nuts, but we only just met. I didn't really fancy him. I just said, no, fuck off, you dirty, cheeky bastard. You know, I didn't grow up in London. I grew up in Liverpool, you know. Pardon? You know, well, you smoke Marlboro in Liverpool? What are you trying to say? We can't afford Marlboro? What do you want it or what? My mum was a right-on scouser, my mum. She was the only woman ever to get nicked for shoplifting on Supermarket Sweep. Which is like... They say the only reason the Mersey runs through Liverpool is if it walked, it'd get fucking mugged. I grew up in this big housing estate called Cantrell Farm in Liverpool. We had packs of marauding dogs in the street. We had this German shepherd that lived next door. And every morning he'd come on our lawn and do his business. And every now and again he'd bring his fucking dog with him. Dirty bastard. He woke me up 4 o'clock one morning, and I opened the door of my underpants, which I admit's a very strange place to put a door. He said, "Sorry, Craig, mate, bit of an emergency, I need a push." I went, "All right, mate," got dressed, went downstairs, and there he was, sitting on a swing. There were 14 kids in our family, and they all wet the bed. I could swim when I was 3. Mum used to move to bed, do you want the deep end or the shallow end? Shallow end, please, Mum, I'm only 3. Went to a really rough school as well, a place called West Derby Comprehensive. Class intellectual in our school was a guy called Jean-Paul O'Grady. He was the only one who could fart the whole of Frere Jacques without shitting himself on the high notes, you know. We had a school bully, but luckily for me, he was in the class above me, and he had all his lessons on his own, because he killed all the other kids and eaten one of the teachers. I had this great game at school called the sayings game. And every Monday morning, we'd have to arrive at school with a saying. So I arrive one morning and go, Miss, I've got a saying, I've got a saying. So, "OK, Craig, calm down, what you saying, what you saying?" I said, "The penis, mightier than the sword." She said, "No, Craig, no, I think you'll find the pen is." I said, "I wish you'd told that before, miss. I've been losing loads of fights in the yard." Don't know if you know this. It's true. My brother is a policeman. He's an inspector, in fact. And when I was growing up, I thought the last thing he grew up to be. I thought he grew up to be a torturer or a toy thief or something like that. He was a psychopath, my brother. He used to come home crying because no one would have a knife fight with him in the street. Like. It's not his fault, though. He was spoiled as a kid. Got hit by a bus. Took him to hospital. He was there for about 8 weeks. Then we finally got a fucking doctor to look at him. Took him straight into intensive care and gave him loads of tests. The results were really bad because he hadn't revised or anything, you know. But the entire right-hand side of his body was paralysed. I remember being with him in the room in the hospital with all these needles and pins and tubes coming out of him. Nothing to do with the hospital, I was just sticking them in him to see if he'd notice. The spooky thing was that he didn't feel a thing. But when I got home, his teddy bear was in total fucking agony. Don't mess around with that voodoo guy. There's only 2 roads out of Liverpool when I was growing up. There's either football or entertainment. So I obviously chose the football. That's the lad. Thank you very much. Oi, oi! I was actually in jail with Tony Adams. Yeah. He spent the whole 6 weeks in his cell trying to make the wall go back 10 yards. Difference between Diana and the Liverpool Football Club. At least Liverpool make it out the fucking tunnel. But anyway. I hope I can do this. I haven't done it for so... I shouldn't do it with a cigarette, man. Do you hold my cigarette for me? Do you want to hold my cigar? It's, It's amazing what springs to mind when you're bouncing something up and down on your head. Don't make me fucking laugh. Like, why don't people who believe in reincarnation leave all their money to themselves? Why is abbreviation such a long word? Who the fuck put an eye in blind? How does Teflon stick to the pan? What's the speed of dark? Why do we believe that aliens, with the technology to traverse the infinite tracks of space, would finally reach Earth and crash? And die? Like they can invent the interstellar drive, but they can't come up with fucking seatbelts. And why am I doing that? Still ad. Thank you very much. Lovely theatre. You know, it's lovely, isn't it? Backstage is beautiful. I've got this toilet backstage, kind of a long, kind of cubically type toilet, you know, with a seat. It's nowhere near the door. And the lock on the door's broke. You know, you're trying to have a dump. trying to keep the door closed. End up looking like Superman, you know. I'm in there reading the graffiti. For instructions on how to play toilet tennis, see the other wall. For instructions on how to play toilet tennis, see the other wall. Well, I didn't get it either. I was looking for the fucking instructions. Anyway, I finally get to it, and I start laughing. And then I look around for the toilet paper, and I stop laughing. Then you're looking for anything, aren't you? A page out of your diary. Packet of King Rizzlers. I'd rather have a clean arse than a smoke later. In the end, you just pull your pants up, don't you? Leave a space. Walking around like Frankenstein after a skiing accident. Some guys use the porcelain rim on the bowl. They do, you dirty bastards! I have no luck with toilets. I was on the plane, coming back from America on the plane, in the queue for the toilet, this woman behind me, and she's absolutely gorgeous. So I start chatting her up like, as you do. And it's going really well. And I think, fucking hell, 1 Mile High Club, here I come. I say, you can go in front of me, love. She says, thank you, Craig, you're a gentleman. I go, She goes in, she comes out about 5 minutes later, she goes, phew, I'd leave that 10 minutes if I were you. I don't find that sexy! No fucking look with toilets. Since I've been on telly, I get invited to posh people's houses for the weekend. And it's then, and only then, that I can't seem to flush away me turds. You notice that at home, no problem. But when you're in the middle of West Suffolk, surrounded by 6 incredibly middle-class people, the turd I dropped on Friday night is still there Monday morning. It's got a piece of half-digested sweet corn at one end. Looks like an eye. And it's staring up at you. And it goes, I am your creation. You made me, I will never flush away. And every 10 minutes throughout the weekend, all you can hear is someone else upstairs failing to kickstart the system. And you're sitting downstairs. And they're all looking at you. Because they know it was you. Because the turd grassed on you. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're running down the corridor with a bog brush in your hand and you're stabbing it like a scene out of Jaws. But it won't break up and it hides around you. And I'm a grown man. And I'm doing an impression of a turd. My life is tragic. I'm 35 now, 35. In dog years, I'm dead. A lot of things worry you. A lot of things worry you when you get to my age, you know. The other day, true story, the other day, I found these 2 grey hairs in my pubes. And I pulled one out and my left bollock fell off. It's only a mime. You're not going to see any bollock rolling across the carpet. I saw no bollock. A lot of things worry you when you get to my age, you know. I worry that if I leave my body to medical science, they'll use it to find a cure for whatever I was I died of. I'd have that or a medical student will cut me dick off, take it to a party and have more success with it than I ever did. That's a fucking worry, you know. Another thing I worry about, ever since I've been doing the lottery, I really, really worry that my lucky number isn't. Because it's not. But we're all doing the lottery, aren't we? We're all itching to be rich. We're all scratching our way to poverty. You know, you've got more chance of walking up to someone and guessing their entire phone number right first time than you have of winning the lottery. And when we all know it's 14 million to 1, but why do we do it? Because someone's got to win. Well, no, you haven't, because you're not a jammy bastard. Something genetic happens in the womb. It happens once every 14 million births. But when it happens, you don't give birth to a normal baby, you give birth to a jammy bastard. The kind of kid who opens his eyes for his first little feed and goes, wow, Pamela Anderson. He's a jammy bastard. And he goes through school and he passes all his exams by guessing the answers. He's not particularly good looking, but all the birds won't leave him alone. He's got a 14-inch knob. He sings like Elvis Presley. He's a jammy bastard. And you leave school and you hear vague rumours of him being married with 6 kids and working in a factory in Birmingham, and you think, fuck, I thought he'd go on and do really well. He was such a jammy bastard. And the next time you see him, he's on the telly with his hand up, Carol Smiley, scared, getting a cheque for 18 million quid, and you think, you jammy fucking bastard! Sorry. Gotta get it off my chest. Never let your kids know that you gamble, you know? I've got a son called Jack. He's 12 now, to my first wife. Hey, see that? I said first wife and nothing happened. Because my first wife is the woman that made me think, next time I want to get married, I'm just going to find a woman that I don't like and give her a house. But I'm not bitter. But I have Jack at weekends. And I took him out one weekend and took him back to his mum. And she said to him, did you enjoy the zoo? And he went, yeah, the zoo was brilliant. The animals were great. And my dad got really excited when one of the animals came in at 20 to 1. Shut up, fucking up, fuck up. Never let them know. He tells me a joke every night I do a show. He phones me up. He tells me a joke, and then I tell you, and you have to laugh. All right? Simple as that. Well, he's only 12, you know what I mean? Don't want to shatter his confidence already, do you? His joke tonight was, Dad, yes, son, cheese and pickle sandwich, walks into a bar, as they do, and says, can I have a pint of lager, please? And the barman said, we don't serve food in here. Laugh, you bastards! There's one last night was better. Dad, yes, son. Why can't a penguin fly? I don't know, because it's a chocolate biscuit. A lot of things worry you when you get to my age, you know? You know those cartons of soft drinks that you get, where you've got to push the straw through the circle of metal foil? Where does the foil go? It goes up the straw and we swallow it. We're all walking around with half a pound of metal in our stomachs and it's going to fucking kill us. Another thing though, you know, on a cold day, you breathe out. You produce a cloud of white condensation because your breath is warm and moist. What about when you fart? I'm serious. No good laughing like that, girl. I mean, say you're standing at a bus stop and there's no one round. So you let a sly one go. Can that girl across the street see a dense white cloud blasting out the back of your slacks? I don't know, but I worry about it. I know you can all worry about it too. Some things are hard to imagine, aren't they? It's hard to imagine a show that's better than that, like, Don't Try This at Home with Davina McCall. Because, I mean, if guests bottle out of a challenge, she has to do it for them, like, you know. I'm dying for someone to nominate me to wrestle a steak from a hungry pit bull while sucking its cock. And then I'm just going to say, no, I've changed my mind. Changed my mind, Davina. It's up to you, love. I tell you what, that'd be one hungry but happy pit bull, I'll tell you that. But some things are hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine the Pope watching Baywatch with his hand down his pants. Maybe not. It's hard to imagine Julian Clary boxing. Well, actually, no, he's used to being fisted around the ring. But... What? I don't do homophobic material. I did a bit a couple of nights ago and I got in trouble with the gay mafia. I found the head of a My Little Pony in my bed. Keep the motor running. There's a fine line, I think I fucking crossed it. It's hard to imagine a terrapin doing a really long fart. No, a really long one. Like being propelled around its tiny tank with a look of total terror on its terrapin face. It's fucking hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine 2 Klingons arguing in the supermarket about which is the softest toilet paper. They wouldn't do it. It's hard to imagine Bjork and Yoda in the same room. It's hard to imagine a weatherman in a kung fu film. Hiya, shakata, showers. It's hard to imagine déjà vu about something totally unfamiliar. It's hard to imagine déjà vu about something totally unfamiliar. It's hard to imagine astronauts so fat that even in space they weigh a little bit. Hardest thing of all to imagine was Hugh Grant having to pay for a blowjob in Hollywood. Apparently he used a mint-flavoured condom. I'd never used one of them, just in case it was the mint with the hole in it. You know what I mean? Divine Brown. What kind of sex was she selling? You made that one up yourselves! Oh. What's the difference between George Michael and a Wellington boot? Well, they both get sucked off in a bog. The difference between George Michael and Michael Owen. Michael Owen can score a good goal. George Michael can lob semen from 30 yards. Oh, I'm never gonna wank again. A guilty wrist ain't got no rhythm. Oh, I'm never gonna wank again in a public... Sorry. Just wipe it off. Apparently the police only nicked him because he wouldn't come quietly. My wife said she's going to leave me if I don't stop wanking, and to be honest, I'm going to fucking miss it, you know? Because my sex life when I was a kid was, well, it was invented. But I used to wank a lot, you know? I mean, Thomas the Tank Engine is not the only scout that used to pull things, you know what I'm saying? Oh, God. Lady Diana. Oh. I mean, she was the birth of the sick joke. She was the birth. When Jill Dando got to heaven, she said she wanted a halo like Diana's, and St. Peter said, no, that's not a halo, it's a steering wheel. I don't care. When they say Diana gave her heart to the world, how come they found it in the fucking glove box? You see? There's a new Diana ride at Alton Towers. You go 120 miles an hour down this tunnel and don't come out the other fucking end. The only reason Elton John sang at the funeral, he was the only queen that gave a fuck. He did a song for Michael Hutchinson's funeral. It was called Dangle in the Wind. Difference between Paula Yates and the English cricket team, when they both got fucked in Australia, but at least Paula brought back the ashes. You are sicker than me. What will Diana get for Christmas? The Queen fucking Mother. What's the connection between walking a tightrope and getting a blowjob from the Queen Mother? Whatever happens, don't look down. What? Who was the last person to ride a Derby winner? Lester Pickett's cellmate. Oh. Bad like Jesse James. Connection between a fat woman and a scooter. Both are fun to ride until your mates catch you. These have been trolled off the internet. How many lesbians does it take to change a light bulb? 2. One to do it, and the other to write a fucking folk song about it. I quite like that one. What's blue and fucks old ladies? Hypothermia. Well, I asked this girl to give me a blowjob, and she said, isn't that a bit presumptuous of you to assume I'll do that on the first date? And I said, presumptuous? That's a big word for a 5-year-old. That's what it's called. It's called Sickbag. It's a celebration of the world's sickest jokes. You know that's true. Get that on camera. I caught my girlfriend having sex with my best friend, and I said, bad dog. I was so drunk last night, I came home and blew Chunks. Chunks is my dog. How How do you make 5 pounds of fat look great? Put a nipple on it. Look like that one. Why is it when a man talks dirty to a woman, it's sexual harassment, but when a woman talks dirty to a man, it's £4.99 a minute? You told me that one, Colin, didn't you? What's the best thing about a blowjob? The few precious minutes of silence. That's the lad. That is the lad. I phoned in sick the other day, and he said, how sick are you? I said, well, I'm in bed with my 6-year-old sister. There's 30 Santa Claus in a room. Which one isn't gay? Clause 28. If you choke a Smurf, what colour does it turn? That acid's come back again. I love going to funerals, me. They're just great places to meet single women. I should end up in jail, me. Oh, fuck, I already have.
Police, jail. It's all going to have to go, mate. It's going to have to go. Sorry.
You know best. You're the boss. You know, when I first went to jail, I thought it'd be a bit like school, and if I messed around enough, they'd send me home. It doesn't work like that, you know. Particularly that's the aspect about going to jail are the strip searches. They don't even let you choose your own music. I remember my first strip search, the guy said, OK, drop your slacks. Why are you stockings and suspenders? I said, my girlfriend finds them sexier than tights. So, right, bend over, spread your cheeks. I want to write, mate, whatever turns you on. He didn't like it, so he stuck his finger right up me bum, which was a bit embarrassing because he didn't even kiss me when he was doing it. Been there, have you? No one liked the strip searches. In the end, a group of us chipped in and got the guy some nail clippers for his birthday. What's that, hemorrhoids now, mate? Strip search day, rotten bastards. I was lucky, me, though, because I had a mate called Jack in the same jail as me. And we worked out this way of communicating by tapping out messages on the pipes. You know, kind of... But in the end, they put us in separate cells. I had to resort to shouting like all the other twats. There's nothing like going to jail, though, for widening your circle of friends. Or is it just widening your circle? I'm not quite... One guy I met, hired killer. Give him £2,000, he'd go out and kill someone for you. Give him £3,000 and you could choose who it was. Total psychopath. One old lad came up to me and said, Craig, said, what you got to do, mate, right? What you got to do, mate, right? What you got to do, right? What you got to do if you get any problems in here, right, mate? What you got to do, right, if you get any problems in here, right? If you get any problems, mate, what you got to do, right, if you get any problems in here, right? What you got to do is get a battery, right, if you get any problems in here, right? What you got to do is get a battery if you get any problems in here, right? What you got to do if you get any problems in here is get yourself a battery, right? Get yourself a sock, get yourself a sock, get yourself a sock, get yourself a battery. What you got to do if you get any problems in here is get yourself a battery, stick it in a sock, and that'll sort them out. I did. I couldn't walk, let alone run away. It was really fucking shit advice. I remember sharing this cell with this guy. And honestly, his knob must have come down to just above his knee. And he was very proud of it. Well, you would be, wouldn't you? And he used to sit there in the cell with one leg down and one leg on the bed, and he'd just lie there, stroking it. Inside his pants, but he'd lie down and just stroke it. Just sit there, stroking and looking at me. Just stroking and looking. And it's a bit disconcerting, as I'm sure you can imagine. So I goes and tells the governor. And the governor has him out and has a word with him, and he comes back into the cell really angry with his knob in his hand. And he went bang! And he hit the sink with it, and the sink shattered into 1,000 pieces. And he went bang! And he hit this metal bed with it, and the metal bed dented. And he went, do you know what I'm going to do with this? I went, no. He goes, I'm going to stick it right up your arse. I said, thank fuck, I thought you were going to hit me with it. Oh, fuck off!
give you a witty put-down, but you wouldn't understand it. Happy birthday, mate. I remember when I had my first pint as well. Enjoy. Before I go, I'll tell you this story. I've been in jail now 3.5 months. I am clinically depressed. Walking down the Landon, slopping out my bucket. And towards me is coming this 6'7" psycho skinhead. He's got hate tattooed on that fist. Hate tattooed on that fist. Although you can't see his fist because they're scraping along the floor as he walks down the Landon. He comes right up to me and goes, "Who are you looking at?" You know, like his whole life has been one big bed of roses. And now I've looked at him and it's all turned to shite. And it's all my fault. But you can't back down, because if you do, he's going to bully you for the rest of your stay. So I said, I'm looking at you, Crusher. I'm looking at you with that cruel mouth and those hard eyes. Those hard eyes are at first glance say I'm going to kill you, but on closer inspection say I'm a man. I'm a man like any other. I need to be loved. I need to be understood. I need to be held. Well, I'll hold you, Crusher. Let's me and you two hold like two men have never held before. I want to feel your stubble on me bum cheeks. I want to wrap you in my scrotum and run naked through your underwear. Come back, Crusher, come back! He got halfway down the Landon and a light of recognition just dawned in his eyes. Even here? You're Gary Wilmot, aren't you? Everybody knows my name's Craig Charles. Thank you. Good night, London.
You right, mate? There you go. Can you sign up for Wendy? Big girl.
You're not wrong.
Heather Mills said, can you put your name on that for her? Be careful, she's only got one fucking foot.
All right.
Marianne Faithful said, can you put your name on that for her?
It's melted.
You don't want to know.
All right, mate.
And Kate Moss, an autograph, please.
Go away. I believe I'm a fly. But if you couldn't afford to go to church, you were considered to be in league with the devil and got burned at the stake. We used to execute. Oh, fuck! You were accused of being in league with the devil and got burned at the stake. We used to execute the poor just for fuck's sake!
You ready now? Yeah, up to speed. It's absolutely bloody marvellous. Enjoy. Speed is very funny, you know. It's all very funny stuff.
Not when the drop comes out, and then I put Mr. Wiggly back in my pants, and it's like someone's been dusting them with a wet tea bag. So I've got my black carpet on tonight. You'll find that later. Actually, minge is actually an exotic tropical fruit. So next time you go to the Green Groves, ask for a pound of chopped minge.
Right, and you won't do
I was 6.